Welcome to chair yoga today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Felice, and today we're going to do a chair yoga class. We're going to start on the chair, and we will do some standing poses, but they can absolutely be done in the seat. So I'm going to show variations for both. To start with, obviously you're going to need a chair. Preferably a chair without any sides. I'm just using a kitchen chair because that's what I have available. Not super pretty. So really any chair you have is going to work as long as you have no sides. And then I have two blocks today, which are really optional, but I like to put my feet on them because I'm short and it allows me to move more fluidly through some of the poses and while I'm just sitting. I also have a mat, which is optional. I'm on a carpet in here, so the mat's just going to help me not slip around when I do come to standing. And I have no socks or shoes on. And again, this is optional for you, however you prefer to do your yoga. It does not matter to me. This is your practice, so do what feels good for you. And we're going to go ahead and get started. If you'd like to use another device to pop on some music, that would be beautiful, I'm sure. I haven't figured out yet how to add the music and do the videoing. That'll come later, hopefully. So we're just going to go ahead and get settled in our seat. And again, you're going to have just a nice, comfortable seat. Your legs can be slightly apart, just your arms so you can relax down. I like to set them to start with on my lap, on my thighs. But again, anything works here. And we're just going to settle into our seat, feeling our sit bones grounding into the chair. And we're going to be rising up all the way through our spine to the crown of our head, dropping the shoulder blades down the back, just relaxing. And coming to our space today, you might want to shut down your eyes if that feels good, or you can just have a nice soft gaze, maybe looking out in front of you a couple of feet. And we're just going to start with the breath. So we're just inhaling and exhaling. You don't have to change anything. Just notice where your breath is today. Just feel the air coming into your nose and out through your nose. Maybe notice how the belly rises and falls with every inhale and exhale. And just take a few moments to drop into that space. Coming to your practice today, letting go of everything that may have come before this moment and everything that's going to come after. Beautiful. Maybe take a deep breath in and let it all go out through your mouth. And we're just going to begin by taking a deep breath up. Hands come up overhead. Big inhale. And exhale, hands come to your side. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale up. And exhale out. And again, inhale. And exhale. bring those hands back to our thighs. We're going to drop our chin to our chest, stretching out the back of our neck today, maybe even all the way down to those shoulder blades. You might feel it all the way down your spine. And again, you can keep your eyes closed or you can keep them open. And we're just going to go between this position and looking up to the sky. So we're drawing a line with our nose to the sky. And then exhale back, chin to chest. And let's just flow between those two, warming up our neck. Those little bird bones in our neck, slowly opening. And keeping that breath flowing. So everything we do in today's practice is a moving meditation. Take a couple more at your own pace. You might be going at a different speed than me, and that is absolutely okay. And then when you're ready, we're just going to come back, neutral spine, neutral neck. And then we're going to do the same thing, but go from right to left. So we're taking that nose over the right shoulder, bringing it back to center, and taking it over to the left. Inhale, coming back around, and exhale over to the other side. And again, take these as fast, as slow as feels good today. Just be mindful of your neck. Don't take it too far. If you're feeling any twinges. And then again, we'll come back to center. And we're going to take that deep breath up and in again with our arms. Big inhale in. And exhale out. Beautiful. We're going to bring our hands right to our shoulders. So fingers are in the front and thumbs are in the back. And we're just going to twist from side to side. So we're going to warm up every part of our spine. And again, big, small. Maybe you start small. And as you rotate, you can get them bigger and bigger. And we're just inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, warming up. Couple more. And then we'll bring it back to center. Drop those hands. Let's take a big breath in. And this time, exhale your right hand down for a side body stretch. If it feels comfortable, you can grab the seat of your chair, or maybe even farther down to a rung if you have one. And we're just stretching into that side body. And let's just take some nice little flows here. Just warming up, paying attention to how it feels. Opening up that rib cage. And then let's hold in stillness and take a breath here. And then an inhale is going to bring us all the way back up. Beautiful. Let's drop those hands. And then this time we're going to take our right hand to our left leg. And that left arm's going to sweep behind. Maybe hold on to the chair or your back. And just a little twist. And then back to center. Again, big inhale up. Taking that side body stretch, other side. And just notice the difference on this side compared to the other. Taking those little pulses here. Maybe one side is more open than the other. Getting into that rib cage, opening up those intercostals that help us breathe. And then hold hold in stillness for a breath. And that next inhale brings us up, dropping those hands. Left arm comes to the right leg and taking that twist on the other side, swimming that arm back around. Beautiful. And back to center. Hands come to our lap again. I'm going to push out my blocks a little bit because we're going to come forward on our chair. So we're just sliding forward so we have a little bit more space behind us. And we're going to take some seated cat-cows. So we're going to exhale, round it back for cat. And we're going to inhale up for cow. Really warming up the whole entire spine now. Inhale and exhale. If you find some spots that feel good and you want to linger there, do that. Listen to your body. Your intuition knows where it wants to go. And we're just inhaling and exhaling. Nothing fancy here. Amazing. Now we're going to come back to our neutral spine, still sitting on the edge of our chair, really grounding down through those sit bones, pulling yourself up through the spine to the top of your head. And just sitting nice and tall, dropping the shoulder blades. We don't want any tension here. And we're going to move into the hips now. So we're going to warm up the hips. We're going to take our Sufi grinds, which are just big hip circles. So we're coming forward and back, kind of stirring a pot here, getting into those hips, into the low back. Again, as big or as small as calling to you today. If you've just woken up, this should feel really good. Kind of sweeping away all the cobwebs from our night's rest. If you're doing it at any other part of the day, it's going to feel really good too, as you just kind of get some mobility and fluid into each and every muscle and tendon. And then come to center, and we're just going to switch directions. Nice and easy. Yes. Oh boy, it feels good today. Just inhaling and exhaling. Let's do a couple more here. Again, your own speed. Could be going faster or slower than I am. And then when you're ready, let's bring it back to center. Beautiful. All right, we're going to start with some sun salutations here. So again, we're at the edge of our seat. And we're just going to inhale up. And then we're going to fold forward, dropping those hands wherever they land. And then we're going to take a big inhale and just roll it back up. So a little modified sun salutation. Let's do that again. Inhale up, drop it down. And then inhale, roll her back up. One more time. Inhale up and fold it forward. Yes. And inhale around. All right, we're going to add on here. So we're big inhale up, filling those lungs, and exhale as we fold it forward. And this time we're going to take a halfway lift. So your hands might come to your blocks. They might come to your ankles or your shins, and you're going to come up with a flat back. And then we're exhaling all the way back down. And then inhale to rise. One vertebra at a time. Coming to a seated mountain pose. Hands can be palms facing out. And just take a breath here. Find that stabilization through the seat. Grounding down from the bottom of your sit bones. And we're going to take 2 more sun salutations. So we're inhaling up. We're exhaling forward for that fold. And then we're going to inhale up for our halfway lift. Flat back here. And exhale, forward fold. One big inhale around. All the way up. Mountain pose, palms to the front. One breath in. And then inhaling up. Second one. Exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. And inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe going even deeper with each one. Inhale, rounding up. Mountain pose. One breath. And last one, we're going to inhale up. Maybe look at those hands, mini back bend before we take it all the way down. Coming up, halfway lift. Last forward fold here. And inhale, rounding it up. Finding that mountain pose one more time. Beautiful. Hands can come to your lap. And maybe just rub them on your thighs. Maybe rub your hands together. Maybe rub up and down your arms. You come all the way up. Your shoulders, your neck, and back of your head. Just waking up every muscle with our breath and our movement today. Beautiful. And now I'm going to move my blocks out of the way because we are going to be shifting side to side. So I'm just going to put them out in front of me and they're still nearby and I can grab them if I need them. And we're at the edge. We're going to do some warriors. Nice warrior flow here. Nice and simple. So we're going to inhale up. Exhale down, and as we exhale here, we're going to shift to the side, whatever side you want to start with. So your front leg is bent, your cheek is on the chair, and my right leg, or your right leg, whatever leg you have, is coming down. And you can have it here in a lunge pose. You can push it back if you have the opening here in your hip flexors. So this is our warrior one. Hands can come up to your hips, or you can take them all the way up, stretching up to the sky, maybe looking up at those fingers. Or you can keep your neck neutral, looking front. And just take 2 breaths here. One more inhale, stretch it up. And on the exhale, we're shifting back to the front of our chair. Hands can come to our lap again. Nice tall seat. And we're going to do that on the other side. So we're going to inhale up. And as we exhale, we're shifting over to that other side, finding our warrior one on this side. So your front leg is bent. That cheek is on the edge of your chair, And then you're finding that your back foot, whether you need your knee bent here or whether you want to straighten that leg, feeling the stretch through that hip flexor, through your quads. Got a terrible nose itch. And then again, hands can come here to your hips. You can always take them to the heart center or reaching them up, maybe looking up if that feels good. And just take 2 breaths wherever you are. And next inhale, just reach it up. And then exhale, coming back to our easy seat. Maybe hands coming back to those thighs. And just notice how your hips feel now that we're starting to open up top to bottom. Getting into more of our legs as we progress through our practice. And we're going to do that again. We're going to add on. All right, so big inhale, up and in. Exhaling, coming over to the side, finding your warrior 1. Getting into position, and then finding where you like your arms. Inhaling up, if that feels good. Hold for a breath. We're going to inhale, reach it tall. And then this time we're going to shift our back foot. So it's going to shift and pivot until your toes are pointed to the front. And you still have this side leg bent. So we're in a beautiful warrior 2 here. And then our arms just come out, 1 to either side, and we're looking over those front fingers. Warrior 2. And then inhale those hands up and just shift into a wide-legged seat here. So your knees are both out, legs are bent. And we're going to inhale up and cactus those arms down, goddess pose. Beautiful. Just take a couple breaths here. And then inhale up again. And this time we're going to pivot over to the other side for that warrior 1. Pivoting, finding that warrior 1. Strong front leg, strong back leg. And then inhaling, finding your hand position. Take a breath here. And then again, we're going to pivot. So that back foot, the toes come to point forward. We're still open on that other side. And then either arms are out looking over those front fingers. Warrior 2. Take a couple of breaths. And then let's inhale up as we come again to that goddess pose. Both knees are bent, open legs here, and just bring those arms down. And then let's inhale up, and then exhale, bring it all together, including your legs back to center. Beautiful. We're going to take that flow again. So we're going to be flowing between warrior 1 and warrior 2. You can go ahead at your own pace now that you know what to do. So here we go. We're inhaling up. Exhale, shifting to the side, finding your warrior 1. Hand position up at your hips or heart center. 1 breath in here. Then inhale, reach up. And exhale, shift into that warrior 2. Strong legs, Looking over our front fingers. Beautiful. And then we're going to inhale up, bring it forward, center here, wide legs. Hands come down, goddess pose. Inhale up. And exhale over to that other side for your warrior one. Setting yourself up. You know what to do here. Take a breath. And then a strong inhale. Reach it up. And exhale. Warrior two. Pivoting that back foot. Looking out over our front fingers. Take a breath. And then inhale. Center. Wide legs. Seat. Hands come down. Goddess pose. Inhale up. And then bring it all together to our regular seat. Hands can come to heart center. Then you can drop those hands down to your lap. And just take a moment to feel the opening we've just made today. Now we're going to start our standing balance pose. And again, like I said, I'm going to show you what you'd want to do for standing. And if you're going to stay seated, that's okay too. I'll show you modifications for that. So if you're able to, we're going to just bring our legs together. Hands can be on our lap or down to the side. We're just going to lean it forward. We're going to bring our arms out, placing all our weight in our heels, popping up off the chair. So we're in our yoga chair pose, and then pushing up through the heels all the way to standing. Hands come down to our sides for standing mountain pose. So just find your stabilization. Maybe you want to rock back and forth, toe to heel. Maybe you want to go side to side. Maybe you want little circles. Just find the grounding between your feet and the earth. And then we're going to come to center. Like I said, today we're going to do some balancing poses. So I'm going to show you first standing, and then I'll show you how to do the modification in your seat. So you might want to shift a little bit. You might want to move. So we are going to balance, but you still have this chair to help you with your balance. So I'm just going to move it up so I have space between me and the wall here. You do whatever works for you in your space. And now we're next to the chair, so you can hold on to it if needed. Okay, so we're going to start today with a nice tree pose, one of the balance poses in yoga. And we're just going to place all our weight into our left foot, and so you can hold on to the chair with your right. And then you're just going to take your right foot, and maybe you start here with your toe. And maybe you drag it up your calf. Maybe you can even take it above the knee. You can hold on here, or if you want, or you can lift those hands up like a tree, or you can even bring it down just to heart center here. And once you're there, we're just going to take our time. Try to take 5 breaths if you can, and we're just playing here. So there's no right or wrong. If you fall out, that's okay. You just come back into it. And now you keep going there, but if you're seated, we can do that same thing here. I'm going to move the blocks. 1 foot on the floor. You're taking your toes either up, resting your toe on the floor, bringing it up your calf. So we're opening out here through the leg. And then again, you can take those arms. Try to really kind of ground through that foot that's on the floor. Beautiful. So wherever you're at, maybe you're done with that side. Come on down, shake it out. We're going to come to the back of our chair, or you can even come to the side. I'll show you both ways. We're going to do our downward dog. And again, I'm going to have to shift my chair a little bit forward. you know, the space we have at home is different than what we have at a yoga studio or a gym, and that's absolutely okay to take your time and move things where they need to go. We're going to stand behind the chair, and the first time we're just going to have to play with it. Feet are going to be shoulder width apart, and we're going to inhale up, and then we're going to forward fold and find that chair for a downward dog. So again, you might have to move your feet back and forth, finding that good stretch here so you can look down to the floor, looking at your feet, your knees, your chest, stretching through that upper back, through those hips. And this is our downward dog. If you have a little more flexibility, you can use the seat of your chair for your downward dog. So again, you just breathe up, fold forward, find that seat, wiggle around, and you've got your downward dog here. And we're just stretching out after we worked our balance pose. And then when you're ready, we're just going to round it all the way up, coming back to our mountain pose. Now we're going to do that balance on the other side. So whatever leg you initially started with, we're going to do the opposite. Hopefully you remember. You probably remember once you get into it, because that leg is going to be a little tired. Again, we're starting on the side of our chair. We're going to come into our tree pose. So I'm putting all my weight into my right foot this time. And my left is coming to my calf. I start at the toes on the floor and then guide it up, keeping that leg open. Seated, you're doing exactly what we did last time, but on the other side. And then, if you're ready and you want to, you can take the hands off the chair, finding prayer, or even bringing it all the way up. Something that helps is finding a drishti point, which is just a point about 3 to 4 feet in front of you, something that's not moving, that you can just look at, pulling in your core for stability and balance, and just taking your 5 breaths, playing around here. Again, if you fall out, absolutely fine. Woo, like that. And then you just come back in. You just start. Find your tree. Not any reason to judge or be upset with ourselves. Beautiful. And then again, we're going to find our downward dog here. So whether you're behind your chair or using the seat of your chair, we're all going to take a deep breath up and in. If you're on your chair, you're just going to let yourself forward fold like we did with our sun salutations. So whatever stretch you're in, take 3 deep breaths. Just feeling everything opening up. And then when you've taken your breaths, just bend your legs so you can roll it all the way up. Then we're going to come back to the front of our seat here. I'm going to move this back again. Gosh only knows what it looks like on camera. We're coming back to the front of our chair. I'm going to bring my blocks back in. We're just going to find that seat. You can come all the way back, resting your back on the back of your chair. Feet are firmly on the floor or on your blocks. And we're going to take a nice deep breath up and in. And then drop those hands down. Let's do that again. Big inhale up. And exhale out. One more time. Inhale up and in. And exhale, hands come down, heart center. And we're just going to drop those hands to our lap. And we're going to move into our version of Shavasana. So you can stay seated just like this, if this is comfortable to you. You can slide out, so you kind of slide onto your chair and just flop on down. Maybe you have a chair where you can rest your head back. This is obviously completely up to you and your body, so you find whatever suits you. And then again, if it's comfortable, we're just going to close down our eyes, finding our nice, easy breath. We're coming into Shavasana here. Our final resting pose today. And we'll go ahead and do a quick body scan in our Shavasana. So I invite you to take your attention to your toes. And just breathe into your toes. Letting your attention wander to the bottom of your foot, to your heel, the top of your foot. Resting, sending that breath to your ankles, to your calves and shins, all the way up to your knees. You can bring your attention to your thighs and your hamstrings. Notice your sit bones on your seat. Your hips. Notice your belly. Let go of all the muscles here. And letting that attention travel up to your chest, your rib area, all the way up to your shoulders. You notice your fingers, the palm of your hands, the back of your hands, your wrists and your forearm, your biceps, your triceps, all the way back up to your shoulder blades. Let your attention travel down your spine like a ripple, a wave, bringing relaxation to every muscle in the back. And then taking that wave up the spine, all the way to your neck, your jaw, your cheeks, your forehead, every little nerve ending in your scalp and head. Finally bringing that attention right to the top of your skull, right to your crown chakra. And just imagine that crown chakra is opening like a window, and golden light from the sky is just pouring into that window, bringing relaxation, warmth, love, and peace to every cell in your body. And just breathe here. Breathe in this light. Letting that light fill every nook and cranny. Letting that light settle down into your heart chakra, where it forms just a little tiny ball of light that you can carry with you throughout your day. Anytime you need to come back to that peace and love, it is right here with you. And then we'll take a big deep breath in. Hands come up overhead, gathering all that love. And then bringing it down to our heart center in prayer pose. And bowing to ourselves and to each other, everybody who is doing this practice with us. And saying namaste. Namaste, friends. Thank you so much for coming to this chair yoga practice today.